So today we are basically going to be talking about Taurus energy. Okay, now Taurus energy, it's not hard to understand. None of the signs are very difficult to understand once you really listen and pay attention. Okay, so Taurus is the second sign in the zodiac. It rules the second house. It's associated with things like value, specifically natural value. So worth that you don't necessarily have to do too much work to be acknowledged for. It's kind of just what you come with without having to try too hard. And the potential rewards or the potential stability that you gain from actually taking those things that come easily very seriously, right? So developing those natural skills, those natural abilities that you already came into life with, so that you're able to have more footing, so that you're able to express the worth that you bring. You're able to express what you bring to the table a lot more effectively when you understand your Taurus house, when you understand the energy of Taurus in general. Taurus is related to things like banks, vaults, places where you store things of value. It's related to the physical body, right? So the physical body itself is kind of like a vault for our spirit or our soul. And they're not interchangeable. They're two different things, and we'll get into that soon. But it's a vault for these things that we value, basically. A vault for our own self-worth, our talents, Taurus rules, and things like that. So the glyph for Taurus is a bull. It's a depiction of a bull. And when you think about cows, when you think about the Egyptian goddess Hathor, who is associated with cows, when you think about the Milky Way, which is literally what we live in, and we think about what cows kind of provide us, it's kind of this abundance of natural value that they bring. There's so many ways that cows add value to human life just in the way that they naturally are born. So in that same way, Taurus wakes us up to notice, hey, like there's something inside of me that can be valuable for me. Like we're not even thinking about necessarily the world yet. And if you're thinking about money, you're going to have to, right? Because you're not really going to make money from yourself. You do have to express something, share something with the world before you're able to receive anything from the world, which is what that Taurus Scorpio axis talks about. But Taurus specifically is about making sure that what you have, what you bring to the table, is sufficient. Not only is it sufficient, but it's reliable, it's stable, it's something that it's not shaky, right? When you talk about money, you always want to be in a position where your money is stable and is able to flow, but it's not too fixed, right? So Taurus is fixed earth, and for that reason, unhealthy expressions of Taurus can be very stubborn. They can be very dogmatic with their beliefs, like right is right and wrong is wrong. They can be very judgmental. If you're trying to assess your own value, you have to be very critical. And in learning how to be critical about your own value and what you're capable of doing naturally, you have to be aware of what other people are capable of doing naturally, what other people are looking to get out of you because of the worth that you bring to the table. And so just always learning to be aware of that. Taurus is also related to food. It's ruled by Venus, so things to do with pleasure, beauty, music, but especially things to do with the throat, like singing. The throat chakra is also related to Taurus. And when we think about food is what sustains our body. It's what helps us basically maintain the things that are worthwhile, right? If we don't sustain ourselves, if we don't feed ourselves, then we're not able to get up and go after the things that we decided that we wanted in Aries, and we're not able to do that reliably without properly integrating that steady, consistent sort of Taurus energy. Taurus kind of has that energy where it's like I'm here forever. And Scorpio, the opposite axis, kind of teaches you that nothing in life is really forever, at least not in the same state. Things exist forever when they're able to flow into different states and be different things and experience different things, express themselves differently, etc. So that's the only way that things can be permanent forever. The thing with Taurus is that they kind of want forever to be in the same box, and like getting like changing or like going through, like learning how to be adaptive can be very difficult for Taurus, because again, it's fixed earth energy, so there's not a lot of flexibility that comes naturally. It's the energy that's kind of like, it is what it is and it is what it isn't, and why try and change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You get what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like that. And in some situations, that's the perfect kind of energy to be walking into it with, especially when you're building up consistency and you're not at a point where, you know, innovation is necessary, or maybe innovating at this point would honestly do more harm than good, as Taurus naturally is like squaring Aquarius. And Aquarius is all about breaking free from those boundaries, innovating. Everything that we came with naturally, we're now trying to make artificial. That's Aquarius energy. Taurus is the complete square, I don't want to say opposite, but you know, it's perpendicular, I guess, to it. So it'll kind of cross off that energy when it's present. When we're talking about earth signs, we're talking about resources and our ability to manipulate our resources. With Taurus, we're talking about our personal resources and how we can make those resources more stable, how we can make those resources quote unquote last forever through consistency. And with Virgo, you're looking at those resources that are now stable, and you're saying, how can I change the way that I use these resources in a more like intelligent way? Like, how can I kind of make my resources useful to other people? And then Capricorn is, how can I make use of other people's resources so that we all benefit? Maybe me more, but how can I make sure that we all benefit from everyone's shared resources? Organizing to make sure that shared resources don't all go into one pot. Although when you're dealing with Capricorn energy, 10th house energy in general, people's intentions can be a little, you know, hard to see. And I think that's it for Taurus, the second sign of the zodiac. So if you guys like this video, please make sure that you leave a like, comment. If you have any questions, please leave some questions in the comments below. DM me, always feel free. And yeah.